And last but by no means least, we have our Public Safety Director. And the Bucksport Town Council hereby recognizes Sean Gagan for 31 years of service to the town of Bucksport.
Thank you, Sean.
Can you give these to those two folks? Chief? Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have a few swearing-ins. First for public safety is Chaplain Peter Remick. Jake, you handling these swearing-ins?
I can do them all at once.
All at
Mr. Mayor,
once?
if that's okay.
All right, absolutely. So we have Chaplain Peter Remick, Captain John Gavlik, Lieutenant Shane Bowden, Lieutenant Ryan McGuire, Head Engineer Eugene Bass, and our newest employee, newest firefighter, Oliver Bianchi.
You all want to line up kind of right in this area. We're going to do this all at once. When we state your name, we'll go down the line, state your name individually. And then when we get to your title, what we're swearing you into, we'll go down the line and do that individually as well. So Peter, you'll be chaplain, so on and so forth. So I state your name.
I, Ryan McGuire.
Hi, John Gavlik.
I, Shane Bowden. I, Oliver Bianchi. I, Gene Bass.
Hi, Peter Remick.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and will obey the laws of the United States
and obey the laws of the United States
and of the state of Maine,
and of the state of Maine,
that I will in all respects
that I will, in all respects,
observe the provisions of the Charter and ordinances
observe the provisions of the Charter and ordinances
of the town of Bucksport,
of the town of Bucksport,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of
Fire Department Lieutenant.
Fire Department Captain.
Fire Department Lieutenant. Fire Department Firefighter EMT. Fire Department Head Engineer.
Public Safety Chaplain
for the town of Bucksport.
for the town of Bucksport.
Congratulations. We'll assign those that you have there. I have some pens here. And that top one.
I want to take a minute and thank Deputy Chief Denning and Public Safety Director Gagan, Deputy Chief Winchester, for all the work that's been done and the organization that we now have through the officers and others that have been sworn in this evening for our Public Safety Department.
Congratulations.
You're more than all welcome to sit around and watch the council meeting, or I'll give everybody a couple of seconds to...
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not a good
Every house should have one.
Bianchi was in but he was working for him. And he was a living student and he finished school.
No, you did. Thank you very much.
All righty. Awesome ceremony. Great job by everybody. Next item is considered minutes of previous meetings. We have council minutes from 1/23/2020, council minutes from 1/30/2020, services committee from 1/23/2020, and solar committee from 1/30/2020.
Motion approved. Second.
We have one change
That's
that
it.
to be made.
It's all right. Yeah, we go ahead.
Solar committee.
The chairman's listed incorrectly.
Chairman's listed.
Okay. We'll note that change in there. Who should the chairman be? Okay.
I mean, it was my error.
All right.
I did it.
Way to fess up to it. So we have a motion and a second with the amendment. Council, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. I actually got my computer back up, Sue, so you can have that one if you want. Item 5 is notice of contract awards to Two Steen Crossings.
Yes, as I told you, I think on the, when we did goals and objectives, the town has received $190,000 in grant awards for the replacement of two culverts, one on Jacob Buck Pond Road and one on Bucks Mills, that are to be replaced with the bottomless type that allow for fish passage. One of these, at least, is not in great shape. Public Works Director Lamfer and I have a conference call week after next with the person who prepared this application for us from on behalf of the Natural Resources Counselor, to find out more information and to find out how much additional money over the $190,000 these projects would take before we formally accept. There's a 2-year window on this for utilization, but $190,000 is a long way. It wouldn't have to be local monies in order to redo these culverts. So that's what that is.
Okay. Questions? So we'll have more after your meeting, and then
That's
maybe have
correct.
something
After
to at least discuss.
after we're meeting with him to determine what the total cost of these
Okay.
projects is.
When is that?
Week after next. I don't have the I know it's not next week because I didn't book anything for next week, but it's the week after next.
And if we're accepted, you said that it'd be 2 years?
We would have
2 years,
2
huh?
years to get the work done,
I see.
meaning that if, depending on what the contribution was for it, we could actually have 2 budget cycles to
Yes, I understand.
do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next item is ordinances to consider. We have none. Discussion items. First one is Bucksport Bay Healthy Community Coalition's board member.
The memorandum of understanding that the board, this council signed with the Bucksport Bay Healthy Community Board last year, calls for a representative to attend there, that to represent this board on that, this council on that board, and the coalition meets the 4th Tuesday of the month at 5:30 in the evening, and so I told them that I would ask who on the council would be interested in taking that. So if someone is interested in doing that, they could let me know so that I can let the coalition know.
And where do they meet?
They meet on the 4th Tuesday of the month at 5:30 p.m.
For where? Here?
No. I'll find that out.
Okay. Next is solar committee report from today.
Yep. Yeah, we had discussions about an ordinance, and we asked Luke to draft an ordinance on solar and get that back to us at the next meeting. And Sue, we couldn't recall the term, not an RFP, but you named it last time.
RFQ,
RFQ.
request for qualifications.
We were hoping to get that out to interested parties for the solar.
Okay.
And we are meeting on the 26th with National Resource Council to discuss solar as well.
So what was your RFQ for? Are we looking at?
Well, it doesn't commit us to anything. Is that what
No,
I'm
it doesn't.
understanding?
But I'm just wondering what we're looking.
The solar field at the landfill.
The landfill.
Okay.
And that was it.
Any comments, questions? You got another meeting, going to schedule another one for the next meeting?
The 26th must be March.
The 26th of March is a meeting, and Dylan Voorhees from the Natural Resources Council, who's their solar guy, is coming. Committee member White, Don White, contacted him, and he indicated that he would come to that meeting.
Services committee report.
We had a full agenda with, we appointed Richard Peterson to the Economic Development Committee and Christopher Johnson to the Cemetery Committee.
Okay. We'll take those up in a minute. Cemetery committee report.
Yes, we had a meeting yesterday, and it's just a continuation of discussion, and Carrie Zimmerman from the DAR was present, and it was Mark, myself, and Bob Briggs. And we really haven't come up with a lot of information. There's a lot of speculations, and so when the snow leaves, we will go on up the property, get permission from landowners to go up.
So what exactly is your charge? What do you?
We are trying
to-
to locate where the cemetery is.
Where the cemetery actually is, not a particular headstone or graves, but where the whole.
No.
All the headstones
Where
are moved.
All the
whole thing is,
headstones are
okay.
moved, yeah. We're just trying to locate the cemetery, and it is a state law,
Yep.
because there's a lot of veterans up there
Yep.
that we,
And that's the only one that we don't know, that we know about now, or?
well, that's the one for now we're working on. There's many others, but that's a start.
But that's the one where we're at, okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Pool committee report.
I guess I can give a brief on that. We met last Friday, and we'll be meeting this Friday as well with the engineer. Oh, I'm sorry, next Friday. Yeah, not tomorrow. Yep, next Friday. Thank you, Rich. Went over, I would say, one specific option for the renovation of the pool. Would like to consider some other options and move from there. Am I forgetting anything that,
The meeting next week,
Yep.
basically gave us one option, they're coming back with a
Yep.
couple alternatives.
yep,
We should
Yep.
report for the next meeting.
I
yeah.
was going to say, will there be sort of at least a proposal, do you think, or?
Yes, I would, after we see perhaps more than one option, I think the pool committee will be at that point needing to make a recommendation in order to move this thing forward in one direction or another at our next meeting.
All right. Anything from the public or council? When is your next meeting? You said following Friday?
Yep.
Following
Week
Friday,
from tomorrow?
yes,
And what time is that at?
11 o'clock, and it'll be here.
Here. Thank you. All right, agenda items. We have no agenda items. Item 9 is appointments. We have 2, Richard Peterson to the Economic Development Committee and Chris Johnson to the Cemetery Committee. How would the council like to go?
Motion approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Item 10 is approval of quick claims. We have Wandering Moose LLC, map 32, lot 60, sewer liens from 2012 to 2019. What the council like to?
Motion approved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Second one we have is Timothy and Michelle Brown, map 45, lot 2, tax lien 6/2018.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Couple signatures going around. Item 11 is the town manager report.
Yes. I spent 3 of my vacation days this week in Belfast as part of the Board of Environmental Protection hearings for the Nordic Aqua Farm project. The hearings end tomorrow, but my hearing participation is finished because they will be discussing a topic that I cannot participate in because Bucksport has a waste discharge license, so I can't participate on the wastewater permit. These hearings will be followed by deliberative sessions on the project over the next several months. I want to thank my staff for taking care of business while I was out of the office. It is greatly appreciated. The YMCA has hired a new operations director to replace Nick Tomasco. The person hired is Matt McInnes, and there's a release here that says the Down East Family YMCA is pleased to announce the hiring of Matthew McInnes as the operation director for the Bucksport YMCA, serving the community of Bucksport. Matt is a 2017 graduate of Husson University with a BS in sports management and a minor in coaching. He grew up in Portland and was involved in sports all his life. He was quarterback at the Portland High School and played for Husson University during his college years. Prior to accepting his new role in Bucksport, he was education coordinator at the Old Town Rec Department and also involved with the Maine Sting Athletics. Along with his duties at Old Town Rec and Maine Sting Athletics, he was an assistant football coach at Hamden Academy and is presently the Bucksport assistant boys varsity baseball coach, working with head coach Larry Deans. Matt is married to Lexi E. Braun McInnes and presently resides in Hamden. They are planning to move to Bucksport in the near future. Matt begins his role as operations director for the Bucksport Y on February 24th. So, thanks to our local Recreation Committee members, Rich Rotella and Public Safety Director Gagan for participating in the interviews, and Councillor Eastman for participating in the interview process for this position. Department budgets are due back to me by February 27th. I will be meeting with department heads after that to discuss their requests. I had lunch last week with our new Chamber Executive Director, Terry Doty. She and the Chamber have some ambitious plans, and I look forward to working with her and the Chamber as they move forward. And she's here this evening for anyone who doesn't know Terry. Here she is. And finally, I would like to thank Dylan Pointer of Pointer Aerial Photography for the great video work that he did on very short notice so we could enter the Hometown Takeover contest on HGTV. Entries had to be submitted by February 7th, and ours was. Although it is clear from a Google search that a huge number of communities from across the country have entered, I would offer that Bucksport has a great story too, and we'll wait and see what happens.
Very good. Comments? Thanks, sir.
That's it.
12 is public hearings. We don't have any public hearings tonight or any approvals. Item 13 is discussion of items not on the agenda for the council and the public. Open it up to the public. Ready to talk about anything that's not on the agenda? Council? Nothing? All right.
I have a
Oh,
question.
yes.
When will we be starting the road projects, or Jay coming in to explain what's
Next
planned?
agenda we'll have we'll have an infrastructure committee meeting before that, but then he'll be here to talk to the council about that project as well.
Thank you.
Anything else? Upcoming committee assignments or public hearings? Here.
We don't have till the 26th of March, so.
Okay.
We have a finance committee meeting prior to the next council meeting at 6, where you're going to meet with your investment counselors from the first about our equities and et cetera, just as an update to the council on where all that stands.
So that'll be the 27th at 6?
Yep.
Finance committee?
Yep.
Did we need a ordinance or a regulatory review meeting for?
Well, I'll take some advice from you, Sue. I mean, we had asked Luke to draft an ordinance, but eventually it's going to get back to a regulatory review.
Well, it needs to go to regulatory review, but it also needs to go to the planning board if it's an ordinance amendment to land use. So we could do regulatory review at 5:30 before the next.
Will you have that done in 2 weeks? I'll ask first.
Well, I thought you meant he already had given you a draft. Oh,
No.
sorry.
I saw his eyes down, I was like...
It's okay, I have it done.
Well, do it right, so once you, I mean, take your time if you need a month or something. That would be my
5:30 is
suggestion.
tough. 5:30 is tough for me to get here.
We can
Do you
take it
want
up to the next meeting.
to, instead of the 27th, we could do
Do the
it
first meeting in
the
March.
first meeting in March.
That's fine. Does it need to have planning board approval first, or?
The council refers items to the planning board for consideration, and then they generally hold a public hearing on it, do discussion, and then come back to the council with a recommendation on how to move forward. Yeah. But generally speaking, it goes from the council to the planning board and back to the council.
So we'll go to the first meeting in March at
Okay.
6 o'clock for that.
Okay.
That'll be regulatory review. Anything else? All right. Item 15 is adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?